Welcome to College Briefing. The content of the briefing includes: George Orwell was sadistic, misogynistic, homophobic, and sometimes violent. When Renate needed help learning food skills, she got it from families Tasmania. But others won't. AP Top 25, Washington into Top 5 for first time in 6 years. Air Force ranked for first time since 2019. The No campaign did not win this referendum. It was the Yes campaign that lost it. Pest control firms use spaniels to sniff out bedbugs in hotels and homes. George Orwell was sadistic, misogynistic, homophobic, and sometimes violent. Telegraph. George Orwell, author of novels such as 1984 and Animal Farm, was a sadistic, misogynistic, homophobic, sometimes violent man who wrote women out of his stories, according to biographer Anna Funder. Funder, who has written a biography of Orwell's wife, Eileen O'Shaughnessy, said that the darkness in Orwell's work was a reflection of his soul. O'Shaughnessy was a key contributor to Orwell's writing, including Animal Farm. Funder also claimed that Orwell was both homophobic and deeply attracted to men. Her book, Wifedom, Mrs. Orwell's Invisible Life, is one of 2 works published this year reinterpreting Orwell through a feminist perspective. When Renate needed help learning food skills, she got it from families Tasmania. But others won't. ABC. Family support organization Families Tasmania has been placed into administration due to financial challenges and increasing competition for funding. Families Tasmania offered a range of programs and services for parents and children, including a family food educator course. The closure of the organization has come as a shock to volunteers and employees, many of whom have been placed on indefinite leave. Administrators will hold meetings with Families Tasmania members and creditors to determine the next steps. AP Top 25, Washington into Top 5 for first time in 6 years. Air Force ranked for first time since 2019. Associated Press. The Washington Huskies moved up to number 5 in the AP College football poll after a thrilling victory against Oregon. This is the Huskies' best ranking in 6 years. The top 4 teams remained unchanged, with Georgia at number 1, Michigan at number 2, Ohio State at number 3, and Florida State at number 4. Air Force also entered the rankings for the first time since 2019 after staying undefeated. Alabama remained at number 11, extending its streak of being out of the top 10 to 5 weeks. The No campaign did not win this referendum. It was the Yes campaign that lost it. ABC. The defeat of the Indigenous Voice referendum in Australia has left many First Nations people feeling disappointed and saddened. The referendum proposed altering the constitution to create a voice to Parliament, which would represent Indigenous communities. The Yes 23 campaign, which mobilized tens of thousands of volunteers, failed to capture the support of a majority of Australians in a majority of states. Many voters did not fully understand the proposal and saw it as a niche and bespoke concept. Some campaigners believe that the lack of bipartisan support, misinformation campaigns, and a failure to engage with diverse communities contributed to the referendum's failure. While the referendum may be seen as a setback, Indigenous leaders are now looking to the future and considering other strategies to address the issues faced by First Nations communities. Pest control firms use spaniels to sniff out bedbugs in hotels and homes. Telegraph. Rentokil, the UK's largest pest control company, has launched a bed-bug dog detect service to help companies identify infestations of bedbugs. The service uses trained dogs, including spaniels, beagles, labradors, and German shepherds, to sniff out the presence of the insects. The dogs are presented with filter paper that has been used to soak up the scent and chemicals from a room. If bedbugs are present, the dogs will alert their trainers. Rentokil claims that the service is 4 times more effective than a human searching for signs of bedbug infestation. Student loan borrowers will get a hand in saving for retirement next year. Yahoo! New rules coming into effect next year will enable U.S. employers to match student loan payments with retirement contributions. The change will enable employers to provide matches for qualified student loan payments on 401k, 403b, and simple IRA retirement savings plans. A 2023 Fidelity study found that 67% of graduates with student loans said debt prevented them from contributing to retirement plans, while 77% of borrowers earning less than $50,000 said student loan payments would affect retirement savings. The change can help employers with retention, reducing attrition, and recruiting new talent. The rule will come into effect in January 2024. Around 49% of employers plan to offer the matching qualified student loan payment provision, according to a survey by the Employee Research Benefits Institute, ERBI. Pilot project, airline captain turns entrepreneur. Financial Times. Evie Cormican, a former airline pilot, has founded a virtual reality (VR) pilot training startup, Visionary Training Resources (VTR), following completion of her executive MBA, EMBA. Cormican has flown for Continental and United Airlines and held various teaching and training roles at both companies. In 2016, while recovering from breast cancer treatment, she started her EMBA. Cormican notes that while she loved flying, she also enjoyed teaching and learning. During her MBA program, she was exposed to VR and decided to combine this technology with her love of aviation. VTR currently employs 38 people and focuses on using VR to train pilots more effectively and help reduce the projected 450,000 pilot shortage over the next 20 years. The company is also exploring other applications of VR in aviation, such as soft skills development, onboarding, and training. Many of VTR's senior executives, investors, and advisors are connected to the Kellogg EMBA network. Executive MBA student aims for safari sustainability. Financial Times. A wildlife conservationist and executive MBA student from Botswana has spoken about the impact his studies have had on his career in the tourism industry. He said he wanted to work in the lodges of the Okavango Delta and after returning to his hometown of Mon, started working for wilderness safaris. He eventually became a general manager and now oversees 4 camps. However, he wanted to connect his experience to international trends and so enrolled in an executive MBA program at the University of Cape Town. He said interacting with people from different industries helped him gain a clearer picture of the whole ecosystem of the economy. Can business schools teach leaders when AI is the real deal? Financial Times. Artificial intelligence, AI, has the potential to create meaningful change, but it is important for business leaders to identify the real value of the technology in order to avoid wasting resources and reputations on AI projects that do not live up to their promise. While there are potential use cases for AI, it is crucial to determine whether the technology is mature enough to deliver the desired value. Business schools should also teach students to critically analyze AI systems and not mistake novelty for revolutionary technology. The skills that will prevail in the boardrooms of the next decade include presenting, storytelling, analysis, persuasion, writing original material, and structuring original ideas. More investors put their money where their vote is. Financial Times. Political leanings are increasingly influencing investment decisions, according to researchers at MIT. The study found that investors' economic outlook is colored by their political views, with their willingness to take on financial risk depending on how their views align with those of the government. The politically driven divergence in investment strategies could decrease risk sharing in the economy and reinforce societal divides if investors vote in line with their economic interests. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Six, your resident observer from the 6 Degrees world. Today, we have a diverse range of news stories to discuss, so let's dive right in. First, we have biographer Anna Funder shedding light on the darker side of author George Orwell. According to Funder, Orwell was a sadistic, misogynistic, homophobic, sometimes violent man who excluded women from his stories. It's always interesting to learn more about the complexities of famous figures, even if it tarnishes their reputation a bit. Next, we turn to Australia, where Families Tasmania, a family support organization, has been placed into administration. This is a blow to many parents and children who relied on their programs and services. Hopefully, the administrators can find a solution to ensure these vital resources continue to be available. In the world of college football, the Washington Huskies have climbed up to number 5 in the AP poll after a thrilling victory against Oregon. It's their highest ranking in 6 years, and it's great to see some new teams making waves in the rankings. Moving on to Australia again, the defeat of the Indigenous Voice referendum has left many First Nations people feeling disappointed. It's a setback for those seeking better representation and support for Indigenous communities. However, Indigenous leaders are now looking to the future and considering other strategies to address the issues they face. Now, let's talk about some unusual pest control methods. Rentokil, the UK's largest pest control company, has introduced a bed-bug dog detect service. Trained dogs, including spaniels, beagles, labradors, and German shepherds, are used to sniff out bedbug infestations. Who knew our furry friends could help us with such pesky problems? In the realm of personal finance, new rules in the US will allow employers to match student loan payments with retirement contributions. This change aims to help graduates burdened by student debt save for retirement. It's a win-win situation for both employers and employees. On the entrepreneurial front, we have Evie Cormican, a former airline pilot who has founded a virtual reality pilot training startup called Visionary Training Resources. Using VR technology, Cormican aims to train pilots more effectively and address the projected pilot shortage in the coming years. It's exciting to see how technology can revolutionize industries like aviation. Speaking of career transformations, a wildlife conservationist from Botswana enrolled in an executive MBA program to connect his experience to international trends in the tourism industry. His studies have helped him gain a clearer picture of the whole ecosystem of the economy. It's a great example of how education can enhance one's career trajectory. Now, let's discuss the role of artificial intelligence, AI, in business. While AI has the potential for meaningful change, it's crucial for business leaders to critically analyze its value and not mistake novelty for revolutionary technology. Business schools should teach students the skills needed to navigate the AI landscape effectively. Lastly, researchers at MIT have found that political leanings are increasingly influencing investment decisions. This could have implications for risk sharing in the economy and societal divides. It's fascinating to see how politics can intersect with finance. That's all for today's news roundup. Now it's time for your thoughts and questions. What are your ideas on these stories? Share your opinions and let's continue the discussion.